Okay, our girl Nia Long is saying that the Boston Celtics' decision to publicize her fiance's Ime Udoka's affair was devastating for their 11-year-old son, and she says that no one from the Celtics has called to even see if her children are okay. And yeah, Nia, I'm sorry that you had to go through that with your fiance, but they had to publicize why they were letting him go, why he was on suspension and may not even come back. He was messing with one of their wives and stuff, girl, allegedly. So, of course, they're not going to call to check on you, especially if he's not your husband and you decided to stay and stick by him. They're saying that you're preparing yourself and your family for the consequences and repercussions behind the man you stand behind. And instead of you letting this die down, you had to come back up and talk about it. Like they're really going to come call and check on his children. Your oldest son is older, but that 11-year-old son that is going through devastation and you had to pull him out of school and things because of it. I mean, that was something that your fiance chose to do after warning, allegedly. And I don't see him filing any lawsuits against them. And I really do feel bad that your 11-year-old son had to go through that. No child should have to. And Nia is also saying that, she was doing her, the Best Man sequel or some project or whatever. And hearing this, she had to actually walk off set in her 36 years of being in the industry. She said that the project she was working on was not only unfulfilling, but, she had to go deal with that business at home. And she went home because what she had to do was teach a white director, producer how to tell a black story. And she just felt, I'd rather be at home with my son who just have some devastating news. I don't want this to take effect to him at school. Kids will pick. And she was like, the worst part was having to see her son face when the news broke. And she really feels, I guess, that the Boston Celtics should have kept the matter private instead of bringing it public. But trust me, honey, their lawyers probably advised, allegedly. So I don't really feel that they have to allegedly come check on your children. Why would they, when he's devastated someone who was married to a woman, allegedly? In their findings of what went on, they investigated him. I mean, I'm glad you sticking by your man. Kudos to you, but baby, they found substantial evidence allegedly on him. And he was supposedly allegedly have been warned before. And I know he didn't tell you, so I know that hurt you more that you had to find out when all of us found out. And I feel you should hold him more accountable for leaving you in the dark. And so, it's some things he didn't even tell you about it. So it's some things that he probably still keeping away from you. The amount of women and such, and he's just not telling you, and you're going thinking, oh, they can't even check on my child after they disclosed everything. Shoot, them people thought he could at least be man enough to tell you that part. And if I was you, I wouldn't hold my breath for them to check on my child. Shoot, I'm really just saying. But anyway, when people saw this, they were going to comment. Someone said, people asking why would they call don't understand the interpersonal relationships these teen organizations have with their staff and families. These are the same people who are involved in their personal family responsibilities like paying bills, home purchasing, handling relocation, finding schools, and often engage with them outside of work. Don't make the mistake of comparing how sports/entertainment professionals interact to your job in a completely different industry, and it's just like a matter of human decency to consider who you're going to impact when making decisions like this. The team or her husband should have gave her a heads up. That's not an unreasonable ask. Someone else said, be more concerned that your man put you in this position in the first place. Celtics is business. He is personal. The Celtics do have a moral obligation to reach out to her, considering someone from their organization was leaking info to the media. They kept the woman who had an affair named confidential, but didn't care how Nia was affected. Someone else said, I'm sorry, but I gotta get this off my chest. Y'all are some cold-hearted bastards. This ain't no regular job, and she ain't no regular woman, nor is he a regular man in the sense of society. It wouldn't have hurt for someone to reach out to her Who knows what sacrifices she made for the Celtics, which I'm sure she has. I don't give a F if it was just her baking a pan of cookies. Out of courtesy, you'd think someone would check on a woman, period. The ex was all over the news, so it's not like they didn't know. And all that's they probably all knew. Shaking my head, I just hate cheaters. Well, darling, it seems like you need to be telling this to him personally. And I do agree, yeah, they could have kept it personal. They didn't leak her name, but you know they're not going to leak her name. Things don't work the same for the same people. And y'all know this. So why y'all try to do what they do and think you're going to get away with it? We all know you're not. And I'm pretty sure a lot of them was side-eyeing him anyways for being that color in that position. So someone else said, but you still with him, sis. Hold him accountable. He the one who brought them in it. Your son just want to see you happy. He don't care who you with because they protecting the executive's wife and identity. That's messed up. And lastly, sis, you took him back in 2 days. No shade. Be blessed. And you know, I agree with some of the comments because I feel that if she wouldn't have went back to him and she would have left, which is her decision, they probably would have checked on her if she had left and was alone. But because she decided to stick by him, they probably don't want to even call the same house or phone that he's probably around. But that is something to think about. Why would they just release his name but none of the other people that were involved? Yeah, they protecting the executives' wives and stuff, and that's not right. Whoever was leaking this knew to keep their name quiet, so that should make him think. Who else may have wanted your job besides a bunch of other people? Well, guys, tell me what you think about this entire situation down in the comments below. And this is all I have for you right now at the moment. Subscribe to the channel for more updates. Give me a thumbs up. Share if you care. And I'll talk to you guys sooner than later.